we are moving on to our next segment, and I'm super, super, super happy to present my soul sister, Jasmine. Jasmine is the Diva Files is coming up next, and Jasmine is going to tell you guys all. Are you there, girl? She's a double HBCUer, right? And so yeah, from Central State and from HU, right?
Yes.
And so
how are you?
Yeah. So I wanted you to just kind of introduce yourself and then tell us who else is coming up. Oh, and by the way, I should let you know, because I don't think, Jasmine, that I mentioned this, but you're going to start with Allie, who works at Coca-Cola Consolidated. Allie is an HBCUer too. She went to Johnson C. Smith, and then Tiana is, I believe, is coming shortly. She got stuck in a little bit of a meeting at work, which when you work for Voice Management, which is a multi-billion-dollar company, hey, you get stuck in a meeting sometimes. So let's have you introduce Allie and introduce yourself. And everybody, I don't know if I mentioned her last name, Jasmine Bird from the Diva Files, a journalist, a good friend, a all-around great person. Take it away.
Thank you. So as Tracey mentioned, my name is Jasmine Bird, and I am the owner of the Diva Files. We are an online magazine that is ran by HBCU students. We got started in 2014, and currently I have over 48 interns from across the HBCU diaspora. We only work with HBCU students because, as she mentioned, I am a graduate of Central State University class of 2009, and I'm currently at Howard University pursuing my master's in business administration. So the importance of my brand is to be able to expose HBCU students to the media life, whether it's through live reporting on red carpets or it's writing content for the site, interviewing celebrities, what have you. I developed this particular program just for us. So I'm really excited about this panel, Secure the Bag. I have awesome panelists. We have Allie Butler, who works at Coca-Cola Consolidated Inc. and Consumer Connections Manager. We're super, super excited to have you, Allie. How are you? Is she there?
I'm Lisa. Allie, you there?
Did I get unmuted now?
There you are. There you are.
All right. Perfect. How is everyone? I'm excited to be here with you all today.
We are absolutely amazing. Can you give us a little background on you, just so everyone knows exactly what you do?
Most definitely. So Allie Butler, Johnson C. Smith grad, so HBCU grad, as Tracey mentioned, proud HBCU grad. I actually started working at Coca-Cola Consolidated when I was a sophomore at Johnson C. Smith, and literally worked my way from the bottom to the top, which I'll be able to kind of express to you throughout today's panel. But currently now a consumer connections manager. I kind of manage all of our relationships. In this role, I kind of started managing our relationships with HBCUs and HBCU conferences. And throughout over time, over the last 4 years, I've been able to spread that out. I still manage and support a lot of HBCUs, but as well as a couple of larger universities and some entertainment properties. And so very, very excited to be here today to talk to you all a little bit about my journey and about how I manage, just navigating corporate America.
Absolutely. So this panel is entitled Secure the Bag, which has been a term that has been coined within the last, maybe I would say 10 years that people talk about securing the bag. Mainly a lot of millennials utilize it. It's been introduced through social media as well as TV. So can you kind of tell us what it means to you to secure the bag?
Yes, so it was so exciting when me and Tracey were first on a call talking about this series with you all. We talked about securing the bag, and literally my response was, we have to secure the grind first. And I talk about that so heavy because I really worked my way from the bottom to the top at Coca-Cola Consolidated. And even while I was in school, through internships and through other different opportunities, I didn't sleep a lot. I was in school. I was up at 5:30 in the morning in our warehouse working. I would go back, take classes. I would take 18 to 21 hours every semester, leave there, go do an internship, leave there, go to another part-time job to, create those relationships and build those experiences that have all led me to my opportunity I have today. So securing the bag for me, okay, I have the bag now, but what did I do? I had to secure the grind first. And so that's what securing the bag means for me. And that's what I can, see how I built to be able to secure my bag. I definitely had to secure my grind first. So don't be afraid of hard work, because it definitely pays off.
Awesome. Well, we have our other panelists here, Miss Tiana. Miss Tiana Carter, how are you? Are you here?
Good afternoon. I am here. I am so glad to be on. Thank you so much.
You're very, very welcome. So Tiana Carter is a senior director, culture and engagement, and head of DI. I want to make sure I'm saying this DIE. Is it DEI?
Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Yep.
Okay, perfect. So can you kind of introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
Absolutely. So I am the head of culture and engagement for Waste Management, which is a Fortune 200 solid waste provider, the largest in the United States. I am based in Houston and love the work that I do because I have the opportunity to connect with students and people like, those that are on this call to learn about how they can connect with waste management. And my focus also is on diversity and making sure that it is a great place to work for everyone to grow and build a career. So that's a little bit about me. I've been in the role for 2 years and have certainly learned a lot, and happy to share some of my experiences today.
Well, congratulations to you as well as Ms. Ali for holding your positions down in corporate America. That's absolutely amazing. So I just got finished asking Ali, what does it mean to secure the bag? So I'm going to pose that same question to you. What does it mean for you to secure the bag?
For me, to secure the bag, you have to be ready and prepared to secure the opportunities presented to you. And like Ali just mentioned, it's not just about securing the bag, it's maintaining the bag, right? And to do that, you have to be proactive and seek opportunities. Don't just settle for that you've made it once you got it. You have to keep on pushing. You have to be a continuous learner and open to coaching. There's a lot of folks who get into the opportunities, but they don't want to hear the feedback so that they continue to learn and grow. So you have to be a continuous learner. And then lastly, stay in that position, right? You have to secure the bag and always look back to open the door for others behind you. And that's when you've really secured the bag, is when you can create opportunity for somebody else.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for answering that. So one of the things about corporate America is that it can often be very intimidating. A lot of people get very, very nervous when applying for jobs with corporate America because there's just always this stigma placed on corporate America. So tell me, what has been your greatest lesson in working for corporate America? And either one of you can take the question.
I would say my greatest lesson that I've had with corporate America is being able to understand how important. I know Tracey mentioned it when I first came on. I heard you all talking about networking. And literally the best line is, your network is your net worth. Like, what do you bring? What value can you bring to the table? And my biggest thing that I have as far as advice, as far as that is, what are people saying about you when you're not in the room? That's key. You can communicate with people, you can do all this networking, but you can really understand how good your network is when you're not in the room and all these people are talking, an opportunity is coming up, or they understand what value you bring to the table. What are people saying about you? And that's kind of continuing to build your legacy there. And that's the biggest advice that I kind of have, and the greatest lesson I've learned coming out of corporate America is, what are people being able to say about me to bring to a positive light, and the value that I add to corporate America.
Awesome. Tiana, would you like to answer that too?
No, absolutely. I think, to Allie's point, definitely, what folks are saying, but also for you to move up in corporate America, there's this stigma that, or this perception, that if you kind of, stay in the job and hoard the information, you have some job security. But the real key to moving up is preparing and developing people under you so that you can grow and learn and move up in the organization. And so I think that's one of the things people often don't think about, is how are you preparing somebody else to take your job so that you can intentionally fire yourself and you can grow within a business. And you have to go in with that mindset of, how can I make this process better, this system better? How can I share my knowledge with other people? I think that is one of the secret weapons that has helped propel me in the career, is intentionally grooming people to step behind me.
Absolutely. So I always tell students that your sophomore and your junior years are extremely critical for you to start looking ahead as to where you would like to see yourself. And currently, a lot of sophomores and juniors are looking for jobs. They're seeking so that after post graduation, they have somewhere to go to. So, what are some of the opportunities that are available with your individual brands?
So for our organization, Waste Management, we have an operation management trainee program that is an excellent pathway to get in the waste industry, to understand the business. I mean, people have this perception that you can just dig a hole and throw trash in and that's it. But we are a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and there is so much more to that, from environmental justice to thinking about how we impact communities, the environment. And so that operations manager trainee program really is a great entryway to learn about the organization. We also are in the process of developing internship programs for next year. And so that's also a nice path on the corporate side when you're considering finance or HR as a pathway for a career.
And from the Coca-Cola Consolidated side, currently, and this is how Tracey and I actually got connected, I'm in my inaugural year of the Hbcu SOAR program. It stands for Scholarship, Opportunity, Advancement, and Recruitment. And so participating with multiple HBCUs in our territory and being able to provide internship opportunities for 10 students throughout that territory, bringing them into our corporate office for a week and just allowing them to engage with senior leaders and giving them an overall experience of what our company is. And how Tiana said, it's not just, bottling Cokes. That's not what that's not the only thing that our corporation is. So there's opportunities, in all parts of our business. And so it's allowing the students to really get their head wrapped around really what avenue they can take and how they can, be a part, and how we can start recruiting, be intentional about recruiting from HBCU students, because there are HBCU success stories like myself and Tiana as well. So we have that program, and we also have something similar to what she talked about too. We have a management trainee program, so you can come in, post graduation, and they're able to hire students right out of college by experiencing, a year-long management trainee program, and you spend like each month in different parts of our business and seeing where you fit best. So those are two opportunities that we have right now.
That's awesome. Now, being two amazing HBCU graduates, whoop, whoop, it's story time. So one of the ways that people tend to learn is to learn through people's journeys on how they essentially got started where they are, because I think it's always good to let people know the picture is not always great, but if you keep working and striving for greater, it can always be great. So Tiana, can you tell us how you essentially got started in your position and to get to where you are right now?
Yes, and this is, one of my favorite stories to tell, because you look now and you see me in a role. I'm in a Fortune 250 organization and, a senior executive position. But what you don't see is the time I had to stand in the food stamps line because I was trying to get through graduate school and work in a free internship, right? The grind is the behind the scenes that you don't always get to see on social media. And so through those, the last 10 years, I've been continuing to work and, try and learn and develop to get to where I am. And funny enough, you never know who's watching. So I got this opportunity in particular because I was working as a VP of business development at another organization. I was 8 months pregnant at the time, and I, met our currently Chief Human Resource Officer, Tamla Oates-Forney, or now Chief People Officer, at a networking event, at a meeting. And after the event, she came up and she said, I would really like for you to work at Waste Management. I was about to go on maternity leave, so I was not thinking about getting a job in the waste industry. I was working in the nonprofit sector. And so it goes to show you never know who's watching, and to always be open to new opportunities. And as you heard, I was in business development, making a shift to D&I. I had to learn a lot, but that agility and openness to understanding that you don't know everything honestly helps set you up for longer term success, because being inquisitive, being open to being coached, being developed, I think that is what will allow somebody to continue to grow rather than become stagnant. So hopefully that gives you some good insight.
No, that's pretty dope. I think that's great. when you tell people about, you know, the struggle a lot of the times, as most millennials say, is real. So I think that those are the key points that people need to hear. Ali, would you like to talk to us?
Yes. So I always say, I feel like your process doesn't start when you graduate. Oh, I have a degree now, I can go and step into corporate America. No, that has not been my journey. And I don't think that's something that you should expect. So I literally started my opportunity with Coca-Cola Consolidated, as I shared with you all a little bit earlier, as a sophomore at Johnson C. Smith. And my counterparts and my friends were like, why are you getting up at 5:30 in the morning to go to the Coca-Cola warehouse? We're working on our degrees, we're going to have a degree, and you're in that hot warehouse. And I'm just like, it's going to lead to something. This is like one of the largest brands in the world. This is going to lead me to something. I didn't know what it was going to be at that time, but I just had to have faith, and I had to continue to work hard. And I was working in that warehouse, literally driving a forklift and putting pallets together of product. And I did that for about 2 years. And then upon graduation, I was able to work my way into an entry-level marketing position that I didn't even know existed. Simultaneously, I'm doing internships with the CIAA and the MEAC conference. And as I graduated from there, from getting my undergrad and doing this entry-level marketing position, this position became available where I would be managing HBCUs. So while I was building, a relationship with people at Coca-Cola and simultaneously having that internship experience with the CIAA and the MEAC conference, when this position became available, literally both of my internship experience and my warehouse experience kind of played together so that I can be ready for this role. I didn't know that it was going to happen. I just was committed to, being a part of those opportunities. Some of them non-paid. I really believe heavy in that. I know a lot of students are like, securing the bag, securing the money now. But sometimes that means, you might have to do some of those non-paid internship opportunities. Some of those really taught me more than what, the paid internships did, to prepare me for now to secure the bag later. So be open to that. Be open to any experiences, because you never know what it can evolve to. And so that's a little bit about my journey and how I got to this current role.
Wow. These are amazing. Like, I think those are like really, really important stories. So can you guys drop a little bit of nuggets on how HBCU students can strive to get their foot through the door, for different internship availabilities for your company or other Fortune 500 companies? Ali, you can go.
Alrighty. I wanted to share with you all a little bit of this strategy I have. It's called my bingo strategy. And I think that, yes, because bingo is one of my favorite games to play. And it's a favorite pastime. We all used to do it as kids, but I call it a bingo strategy. And each letter stands for something different for me, but they all have come together to like really help me be successful throughout the time I was an HBCU student, and starting off in corporate America, and still now this strategy holds true. So first thing is the B. I feel like everybody should carry yourself already like a boss. You have to carry yourself with that boldness, not understanding that, I'm not just here and participating, but I'm important. I add value to the situation. I see many students, sometimes I work with HBCU students, and they might be in a group of, students throughout the country. And I'm like, you can't just be here. You have to be present. You have to ask questions. You have to, make sure that, you're here and you're known to be here. So I think, carrying yourself like a boss, like an executive already, and being bold. That I is for the interviews and internships. Put yourself in front of people and have that practice with interviews as much as possible. And take on those internships, like I said, paid or non-paid. All those experience will help to come together and help prepare you for the next step. That N is networking. We talked about that a lot. I know you guys talked about that a lot today. I know it might be seeming like it's getting pounded down your throat, but it's still so important, even for me today. Just like Tiana just talked about, networking at an opportunity really got her to where she is today as well. So it's very, very important. That G is for grind. Talked about that heavy, earlier. It may seem like, oh, I can't do all this, I don't have time for all this. Grind now so that you can grow later. Grind now to grow later. And then that O for me is opportunities. Take every opportunity that comes before you, because you never know what that experience from that opportunity is going to lead to. So that's my bingo strategy.
All right, Tiana, what you got for us?
I love that. I love bingo. I have to write that down, Allie. But for me, there's kind of two things. The standard answer is you can check out opportunities on our website, and and there's definitely at wmcareers.com. But when I think about my own career journey, I have never gotten an opportunity applying online. It has been through networking. It has been through connections, and in many of those cases, it's when you show up, it's not about what the company can do for you, it's about what you can do for the company. There's a lot of people out there who are thinking about, okay, will I get this benefit at this job, or am I going to get flexible time, and which is important. But when you're starting out, you need to be thinking about how you can provide value to the business and to the organization, and that's what's going to help set you apart from other applicants as you are trying to get that first opportunity, is bringing fresh ideas. At our organization, diversity of thought is really important because we know that helps the business grow. And so bringing those fresh ideas and those fresh perspective, not being afraid to speak up, and share your thoughts. And I'd say, we obviously have our careers page, but we're on LinkedIn. Look at their hiring managers, or look at people who are in the industry or in the types of positions you want to be in. Set up informational interviews, set up coffee conversations. I think you would be surprised that if you're willing to ask, how many people are willing to help to share their experience with you if you just open your mouth and ask the question.
And I had something to add there as well. I wanted to talk about just making sure you're being connected to your career directors on campus, because a lot of HBCU alums, I know, like myself, I don't know, Tiana, if you tapped into that, but I know a lot of HBCU alums that work in corporate America, we may tap back into those career readiness programs and departments at our universities. And so they have, opportunities that are available for HBCU students from our different corporations. That's how I've been able to connect and provide opportunities for students at my HBCUs.
Well, that's absolutely awesome. So the final question that I have for you ladies are, in your opinion, how can HBCU students capitalize on their education as a strength for your company and or companies seeking to expand their diverse talent pool?
I think that the sense of pride, community, culture, all of those attributes that come with an HBCU experience is what corporations and companies are looking for. So being able to play up the experience, whether you've been engaged in clubs, or you may not have a long list of internships and a long resume, but being able to expound upon the experiences you had on campus through different community groups or clubs you've been associated with, that will really help you figure out how to leverage that, because that's a lot of times it's less about can you do the job, but will people enjoy working with you? So talk about how you've built relationships, talk about how you've been able to accomplish goals with a team and had that interaction. I think being intentional about that transferable skills is really important as you're going through the conversations, and that will certainly help. And we know that is apparent on HBCU campuses. So play into it, lean into it, and share that experience.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Tiana. The only thing I would like to add to that is just, when you're participating in these different organizations on campus, try to have at least one leadership, role. We like to see leadership qualities in corporate America. They want to know, again, that you're not going to just step into the role and do the job, but how can you lead, be proactive, and just be able to, carry out, something successfully. So, have examples of how, you put together a program and it was successful. Understand how to incorporate metrics into that. We had this many students here, we had this success. I worked with this organization to make this program successful for my HBCU students, my fellow HBCU students. So be able to have some clear examples and show how you're a leader on campus.
Awesome. Well, we definitely thank you for your nuggets and your wisdom, and we're going to throw it back to Tracey.
Well, thank you so much, Tiana and Allie. Both of you are sisters after my own heart. I can't thank you enough for donating your time today to be with our students, to give all the encouragement and enlightenment and empowerment that you both gave. And I mean, wow, just wow. And also too, we want to have you guys back. So we would love to talk about that and having you guys back maybe later on in the summer to keep spreading all the good information that you spread for the students. thank you for you too. Thank you, Jasmine. Great job. The Diva Files. Make sure you follow her on social media as well.